I said it in the Wild Card Series preview video, and it happened. I mentioned how being a Toronto sports fan, and Minnesota being 0 for their last 18 in playoff games, we smelled this one a mile away. Jays lose 3-1 to the Minnesota Twins in Minneapolis in Game 1 of the Wild Card Series, and it's now do or die. Got to win 2 in a row to move on. You lose tomorrow, you lose Thursday. You lose tomorrow or you lose Thursday, your season's over. This game was frustrating on so many different levels. One, the story that every Jays fan knew coming into it. The Gausman and Minnesota stuff with them not chasing splitters was a thing. And he struggled today. Had a really good 4th inning to close off his outing, but only went 4 innings, allowed 3 runs. And we talked about it in the preview yesterday. We talked about Royce Lewis, uncertain if he'll play in Game 1. That's what I said in the video, and that's what it said in the Score app. Well, he played today, and he was the entire offense. 2 homers, a 2-run shot in the first, and a solo shot in the third. And that's it. And the Jays had traffic in every inning. Just about. Whether it was a guy on first, whether it was a guy on third or second or whatever, they had guys on. But the story of a good portion of the year had been the inability to get a hit with runners in scoring position. And in the top of the 6th, Kevin Kiermaier did that. He got a single scoring Bo Bichette. But we go to earlier in the ball game. And with 2 on and 2 out, with Bo at second, Kiermaier up again, hits a chopper to third. The guy goes for the scoop. I think it was Polanco. Can't make the play. It goes by him. And Bo decides to go home. Gets thrown out at the plate to end the inning. Now, initially, when I looked at the play, I thought when that ball goes by him, Correa's not there. Take off. You watch the replay, though. Bo is kind of powering down right as the ball goes by him. So then he's powering down coming into third. Then he has to try and turn the jets on. And he gets thrown out. You could look at it so many different ways. You could look at it as, hey, had to be a perfect throw from Correa, albeit he was out by quite a bit. If he goes flying right from the get-go and all the way around and rounds third and all that stuff, he's probably safe, but you obviously can't expect that. And with Matt Chapman coming up next with the bases loaded and 2 out, do you have faith in Chapman to come up with a big clutch hit? There's that question mark too. But no matter what way you look at it, that's an opportunity that you could have had a run. And I can't remember, I think it was a 2-0, and it was a 2-0 game at the time, or a 2-1 game, or 3-0 game at the time. No matter what, it's a run. And the baseball gods also... Vladdy hits one right to the wall, little jumping catch, makes the play. And then the big one that everyone, including myself, is just going to see in my dreams, or nightmares, I guess at this point, is the Matt Chapman one. You have 2 on, 2 out for Chapman. That is after Kevin Kiermaier gets the single in the 6th to make it a 3-1 game. Chapman comes up, and an elevated fastball, usually where he gets just, demolished, he crushes one to right center. And me being a Toronto fan, in the playoffs, the negativity always going to fly in where, it's just going to be short, right? Michael A. Taylor at the wall jumps and makes the catch. If that is, 3 feet farther? It's off the wall. I don't know if it's a short wall in center field or whatever the case, but at the very least, it's a double and you have a tie game. Because with 2 out, those guys are off on the swing. So that would have scored 2, would have tied the game, but instead, catch is made. And I believe it was the 7th inning where Vladdy starts off with a leadoff double. Looks at the bench, tries to get them hyped. Then it's followed by putrid plate appearances. Bo swinging at a ball 8 feet out of the strike zone. Kevin Biggio watching strike 3 go by him on a slider on the outer half. And then was it a Kirk? I can't remember what happened on Kirky. Was it a ground out or a pop up, or what was that? Let me try and find that real quick. It was in the eighth inning, excuse me, not the seventh. Top of the eighth, Vladdy doubles, and Kirk a little ground ball to first base to end the inning. So again, you have a guy in scoring position, nobody out in the playoffs. It's a tight game, and then putrid at bats. Then you go to the ninth inning with Duran on the hill, and again, pretty pathetic ABs. You know, the first, I understand he throws 103, and it's really hard to gear up for that and then see breaking balls. But the first pitch to, I believe it was Chapman and Kevin Kiermaier, are breaking balls right down Broadway, and they are taken for strikes. And then the rest of the bat, you're trying to protect, and then Chapman swinging at 101 above his head. Then gets called out on strike 3. It was a strike. He's not happy going back to the dugout, but it is a strike 3. Whit Merrifield walks, and you think, well, it got back to the top of the lineup, right? George Springer, 19 career home runs in the playoffs, maybe, but the negative Toronto sports fan in my head's like, yeah, there's no chance. And he rips one on the ground, but the first base makes a diving play to end the game. I mean, Toronto sports teams in the playoffs, man. Something else. They find ways to get you that close, but to hurt you. Chapman hitting a ball to the wall and a high fastball. Who would have thunk that? But it was just short. Vladdy hitting a ball to the wall, just short. And if that ball from Springer goes through, I understand, it may not have done anything because, high velocity and a good breaking ball to Brandon Belt. He doesn't look very good in the next AB. But you would have had runners in the corners and had another opportunity. And great. Look, I'm not going to take anything away from the Twins. Those are some great defensive plays. They made the plays. I'm not going to deny that. But kind of tired of this nonsense, man. I'm tired of being a Toronto sports fan and watching every team continue to heartbreak. How did the Leaf season end last year? Well, they were down 3-0 to Florida, 1-1 game. And in game 5? No, game 6. Game 5. I was right. Game 5. You had an opportunity, right? You're down 1, I think it was 1-0 or 2-1 going into the third period. And with like 3 or 4 minutes left, Nylander somehow ties the game. Everyone's losing it. Yeah, you lose in overtime. Your season's over. The amount of heartbreak I understand. Look, Minnesota 0-18. Hey, I'm not going to deny that fact. Congrats. You deserve the damn win. The Jays are now 0-5 in the Bo and Vladdy era, though. And that's starting to be a thing. I do like what I saw from those two guys today. Look, Vladdy had 1 hit. Bo had 2 hits. Team had 6 overall. And Kevin Kiermaier had 2 of the hits. Chapman had a rip line drive. Like, he had some pretty good ABs. I understand that last one stunk, but hit the ball to the wall. And 9 times out of 10, you get a couple more feet to that, and that's another hit. And then his 1 hit was a rip line drive that couldn't get handled by Edouard Julien at second base. So in the playoffs, everything is magnified. And the missed opportunities today from the Blue Jays and the outs that were made on the bases and the great defensive plays from the Twins, it's painful, man. It really is watching this. And I understand all year long it's happened, and I get that. Hitting the reset button going into this game, you thought, okay, let's do a job. Well, the Jays' first inning woes continued, right? You're down 2-0 after 1. And Kevin Gausman's line, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 5 Ks, and walk 3. Look, 2 of the 3 hits he allowed, and all 3 runs, and both home runs, were to Royce Lewis. So if you look at it, other than Royce Lewis, he went 4 innings of 1 hit, no runs, and walked 3. But again, the walk 3, the pitch count goes up, and they're looking fastball 100%. But the problem with Gausman, he can't throw the split consistently in the zone in good spots, so they're just not even going to swing at it. They're saying, nah, forget it. We're not even going to bother. And it works because I think both Royce Lewis home runs were off of fastballs. 94 down the middle was the last one. I mean, that's BP fastball. Bullpen did their job. Swanson 2/3 an inning, 1 K, 1 walk. Meza 1/3 of an inning, 1 hit allowed. Chad Green an inning and a third and a strikeout. Henderson Cabrera faced 2 guys and struck out 2, and my God, can he stop spinning around after every 2-strike pitch. I love it when he strikes a guy out because it kind of hypes me up, but God forbid he gets a comebacker, right? You can't field it with your back to the ball. So there's that, but I love it. Two batters, 2 Ks. Jordan Hicks made us sweat like crazy, but went an inning, allowed a hit, walked 2, and struck out 2, and didn't allow a run. Your bullpen gave you 5 shutout innings and a chance to crawl back into it, but as the story has been all year long, your offense can't get it done for you. And you move on to tomorrow. Jose Barrios getting the ball for the Jays. Sonny Gray. Doesn't get easier. You got to get the lead early. I'm sorry, but get a run in the first inning, right? Don't let him be comfortable. And for God's sakes, Jose Barrios, give us a couple scoreless early, allow the offense to get in the game, and don't put them down early. That's my key to victory tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Another 4:38 first pitch at Rogers Center in Game 2 of the best-of-3 series, the wild card series against the Minnesota Twins. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and not the result, because it blows. Let's be honest. It's a playoff game, and yeah, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from the game for the Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff down below. Go crazy. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Jays edition game. Well, Leafs edition on Thursday, I believe, as they host Detroit. Who cares? Preseason. As for the Blue Jays, Game 2, the 3-gamer goes tomorrow night evening, I guess. 4:38 first pitch at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sonny Gray, Jose Barrios is the pitching matchup. Let's play another day. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, not the result. We'll talk to you guys then.